Hey Sean, let's take a look at your week 1, assignment 3 quickly here. This is a good showing overall with both the technique and dealing with the complication of having, multiple overlapping shapes and the tighter kind of areas that tends to create. Blind technique on both of these looks it looks very good. I think for me the only kind of odd area would be the blue square, which it feels like two different types of blue in place. One that is working more like a cobalt blue, and one that's working excuse me, a little bit more like a ultramarine blue, much darker and much more vibrant. So there's kind of a striping going on. I'm not sure how you're doing that, or if you're using kind of an underlayer or alternating. But that, to me, it just kind of stands out. It might just be the scan as well, but if it's an alternation thing, obviously to get a flat color you're just going to want to stick to the one marker. But the cutting of the edges looks good. Looks like you're using a nice thick chisel cut to get a nice wide area inside the shape. And the blind itself feels very good. Side to side also very good, very even coverage, nice and smooth. Very few areas where it modulates in value. So I think that part was also working out well. The edge quality, it looks good. There's a few areas where there's just a kind of tiny bit of overlapping occurring, some of the blue intruding in on the white and that kind of stuff. Not actually that big of a deal. Edges tend to be, I think, pretty good, but I think a lot of your shapes feel a little bit loose. Circles, in the instance of the circle behind the triangle, it feels very asymmetrical. I think you can probably round it out a little bit more, kind of on this side as well as over here, doing the same thing, where I think it actually needs to come out more. And I think if you have a compass or if you have a circle guide, I would definitely use those. And if barring that, just try to figure out a template that you can use to get your shapes to feel a little bit more clear, a little bit, sharper, and also a little bit more symmetrical. So you have some squares where they're kind of dipping down a little bit. You've got, them dipping kind of down over here as well. So I think just trying to get the underdrawing to work a little bit stronger, and then the marker that you put on top is just going to follow through with it. Everything we do in the class, it really just is premeditated on a drawing, a good solid drawing underneath. So I'm sure you have kind of the drawing skills in place. So just take your time on that kind of beginning part. I know a lot of people just want to get it over with, or they just want to jump in with the color, but you can't forget about that, just that very important initial part. Otherwise, it looks good. Scan resolution's a little high. You're at 300 pixels per inch, 3200 by 2500, so just bumped it down to 72 and it should be fine. And other than that, it's looking good. I'm glad you got the markers. I know it sucks to have to buy more stuff, especially stuff you probably don't think you're going to be using, but for this class I guarantee you're going to use the grays more than you'll use anything else. So I think it's really important that you get them in and have them available to you. And it's always good, I think, a grayscale set of markers, always great to have around, because if you need to just lay in some quick coverage of some values, it's a lot easier to do than going in with charcoal, and you'll find uses for them. So nice job overall. Just keep it up. See you for your next one in probably in a couple hours.